What is up, Ivy Leaguers? Another great day. Let's talk about some sports. All right. Yesterday was a crazy day for sports world, guys, all right? Because, one, it was Saturday, the greatest day of the week, because, especially in the fall. But also, we had Game 7 of the World Series last night, which I know I don't talk about baseball that much, but I mean, I can get into it. And what a game it was. Came down to the wire. You got the LA Dodgers against the Toronto Blue Jays. I was about to say Maple Leafs, not hockey. Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays were favored in this one, also the home team, and it really looked like the Blue Jays were going to do it. There came down to the wire, went into extra innings, but LA Dodgers win. So congrats to the Dodgers in a show. It was a very fun game to watch. But let's talk to my sport. Let's go to my sport. College football. The GOAT, as we all know. Or at least if you're watching, I assume you think it's the GOAT. If not, it's okay. I can convert you. It's all good. So let's talk about some college football. Yesterday, big day for college football. Well, I say big day when really it wasn't there weren't a ton of big-time matchups, in my opinion, but there were some ones that turned into big-time matchups. One, let's look at Florida versus Georgia. One that all of a sudden got scary there for Georgia. It looked like Florida was really going to pull away, but then guess what? They didn't. Georgia ended up winning by, I think, 4 points in the end, so it was a close-fought battle for the Dogs, but in the end, the Dogs did pull away. And now Georgia's looking good. Right now they need some things to go their way to make the SEC championship game, but right now they are looking like playoff contenders, and that's good for them. With the sole loss to the Crimson Tide, they got to feel somewhat happy. They got to feel somewhat like they're in a good spot. Kirby does, too. Of course, I'm sure Kirby does not think that. Kirby, I'm sure, is in a very bad mood. But can't help the guy. Then we had a big matchup, Tennessee versus Oklahoma, major SEC and playoff implications. And that was a close one, man. In Knoxville, it came down to the wire, but Oklahoma beat Tennessee. Big win for Oklahoma. Now they've got to focus up. They've got Bama in 2 weeks. I don't know who they have this week. I'm not sure. But I know they got Bama in 2 weeks. We will be at that game, Ivy League Sports Podcast. It'll be fun. Maybe get some more good content from down there. So if you're there, shoot me a DM. We'll link up, hit it up. Perfect. Get some features on the podcast maybe. There we go. Maybe give you some merch. I don't know. But that is big. We'll be there for that. So Oklahoma, that was big. Let's talk about Ole Miss for a minute. I promised my boy Brady that we would talk about Ole Miss. All right, because I'm not gonna lie, I've forgotten about Ole Miss this season. I have, and Brady, I apologize. Shout out Brady Donaldson. I apologize. Hopefully, shouting you out on the podcast will make you feel better. Look, Ole Miss. They're good. They're legit. You cannot say that Ole Miss is not a legit contender this year. You got Trinidad Chambliss is, in my opinion, one of the better stories in college football right now. D2 or D3. Was he D2 or D3? I can't remember. He was a D2 or D3 national champion last year. Transferred to Ole Miss to be a backup behind Austin Simmons. Austin Simmons gets injured. Trinidad comes in and shows out. Plays incredible. And Austin Simmons gets healthy, but they say, you know what, we're going to keep Trinidad, and Trinidad has been great. And they only have one loss to Georgia, and that was really, they should have won that game. So that's not a bad loss. Plus, it was at Georgia, and that's a tough place to play, unless you're Alabama. But look, so Ole Miss fans and Ole Miss in general has to feel very good at this point in the season because they don't have the hardest schedule remaining. And if we look at it, they're, third in the SEC right now? Third or fourth in the SEC. In my opinion, I think at least 5 teams from the SEC will make the playoffs, at least, possibly 6. So Ole Miss is in a nice spot going forward. Obviously, I think they do need to win out. And if they do, they will certainly be in the playoffs, in my opinion. But the weapons that they have, and when you think of a Lane Kiffin-led team, you think of offense, high power, boom, 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 motion this way, motion that way. Guy goes right up the field. We're going to go tempo, tempo, tempo. No. He's really revised it this year. While they still do that on offense, they still haven't scored as many points offensively as they're used to. They still go fast, and they still have that Lane Kiffin flair on offense. But the story this season has been the defense, and the defense has played incredible. I really have been proud of Ole Miss's defense this year. Now, they've had holes in the defense before, but, I mean, if we look at their game against Oklahoma, they did a good job of keeping Oklahoma unstable and, quite frankly, scared. So, if you're an Ole Miss fan, you have to feel good about that. If you're Lane Kiffin, you have to feel good about it. And amid all the rumors of Lane Kiffin leaving, they've been able to do this. So I'm really proud of Ole Miss here. I think Ole Miss is going to be one of those sneaky teams. I think kind of like a Notre Dame team last year, where they are able to sneak around and all of a sudden maybe make it to the semis or even the national championship, depending on the luck of the draw if they win out and make the playoffs. So watch out for Ole Miss. I would watch out for them. Like I said, they need to win out. Don't get ahead of yourself. Mississippi State could still beat you in the Egg Bowl. But, all my guys in Memphis and Brady, watch out for Ole Miss. Now, let's move on. What do we want to move on to? Let's go to the Big Ten. I don't talk about the Big Ten enough. Let's go on to the Big Ten. Ohio State and Indiana. Man, they look like I want to say they're the two best teams in the country. And I say I want to because here's my thing. One, they're going to play each other. And in my opinion, one of those two teams will be exposed that night. Either Ohio State will say, you know what, just because we haven't played anyone ranked recently, we still are the best team in the nation, and we're going to whoop Indiana. And Indiana's going to be exposed for not being the team we thought they were. Or Indiana's going to go up there and say, we are what you think we are. We are the top, if not the number one or number two teams in the country. We deserve that title. And I think they could. They could go beat Ohio State very easily. Not easy, I shouldn't say easily. But they very much could go beat Ohio State. And it would be nuts if they did. But is it going to happen? Last year, I said the same thing last year. Indiana could go up there and beat Ohio State. And then they got whooped by Ohio State last year. I mean, whooped. It was bad. So, all in moderation. I love the Indiana hype. But they could still easily get whooped. That's my 2 cents for you there. Michigan's just, they're not it. I mean, they have a true freshman starting quarterback, all right? Anytime you have a true freshman starting quarterback, you're in trouble, all right? Unless you have superstars surrounding him, and they just don't. Bryce Underwood's good. Give him a year or two, and I think he'll be a Heisman contender. Just not yet. Yeah, I think that's what I got for you today. Told you about us being at the Bama game. Big-time game this week, Alabama-LSU. That'll be a big one. No Brian Kelly for the Tigers. They fired him. Another big firing, by the way. Hugh Freeze is out at Auburn. They fired him this morning, so Hugh Freeze is gone. See ya, sucker. I mean, he really hasn't done anything good at Auburn. And he's just set him back 5 years. So, I mean, if I'm an Auburn fan, I would be happy. You got to go get someone better. They should have hired Cadillac, what's his name? Cadillac Williams, when they got rid of whoever they had before Freeze. They should have hired him. He was a good coach. But they didn't. So, they should go call up Bo Jackson. See if Bo Jackson wants to coach them. Or you know what? Hire Cam Newton. That's what they should do. They should go hire Cam Newton. That would be hilarious, by the way, if they did that. But something Auburn would do. Coming from an Alabama fan, of course. But that's it for today. Until next time, this is Ivy Taylor, signing off.